An estimated 1 in 4 women will experience sexual violence in their lifetime. However, in Utah, those statistics are even higher. Sexual violence is more common among women than other crimes on college campuses.
Of sexual assault awareness, prevention, we at the Booth Wellness Center are not strangers to this. It is an unfortunate reality. We do work a lot with students post like trauma in dealing with that and in trauma-informed care.
8 out of 10 rapes are committed by someone the person knows, and it's estimated that at least 50% go unreported.
Sometimes it might take someone months or even years. It's up to that person, that victim, that survivor, to make that decision. And it's good for us to create this awareness and show that we support victims and survivors.
Each year, providers of resources come together on the Utah Tech University campus to educate and provide information about these crimes.
We do this campaign every year so that people are aware that there are sexual assault cases that do happen. And the best thing that someone can do is to make sure, again, that they listen, that they're supportive. They ask the person if there's anything that they need, anything that they can do to make sure that they feel safe.
A display on campus by the Dove Center shows how it doesn't really matter what they were wearing. Students and faculty and staff took a pledge to start by believing.
You'll see in this year's exhibit that there's several instances of outfits that include sweats. So that just shows that, again, it's not, well, if you had been wearing X, Y, and Z, or if you hadn't done ABC, then this wouldn't have happened.
It's just really hard for someone to even come out and talk about it in the first place. So I feel like the only thing that there is to do is just to listen and believe.
We have friends too that it's happened to.
95 to 98% of individuals who report a sexual assault are telling the truth, and that's nationwide, that's not just in Utah. And there is a very small percentage of those who, unfortunately, they were not telling the truth, but we always start by believing.
The Utah Tech Student Resource Center is hosting a wide variety of events to inform students and others what to do if this happens to them. What is most important is to recognize unhealthy relationships.
And that relationship is met with a significant amount of intensity. That is, the person's always in contact with you, blowing up your phone, calling you, checking out on you, making statements as if you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, you're wonderful, you're terrific, you're fantastic. Things where you don't have the type of relationship, they haven't necessarily had that experience to go that far. Possessive behavior is another one of those boundaries. So this could include a partner or someone being very possessive of their time with you, time spent with other people, what you're doing together, who you're with. Manipulation can be a part of that.
When a person falls victim to sexual violence and they report it, they will be asked to undergo a medical forensic exam by nurses who specialize in these cases.
Right now in the state of Utah, if that sexual assault has happened within the last 5 days, we highly, highly recommend that you go in for an exam. So if you don't go in right away, it's often that people don't disclose sexual assault right away.
So in addition to providing health care for the survivor of sexual assault, we're able to collect forensic evidence at that time, regardless of the survivor's desire to prosecute a crime at that time. We can collect the evidence, that way it is there if that person changes their mind.
So survivors receive one-on-one care by a forensic nurse while they're there in conjunction with our partners from the Dove Center. So you'll have a one-on-one advocate if you choose to have them there as well. And your only interaction with the emergency department staff are, one, if there's a life-threatening injury of some kind resulting from the crime, then they're going to be our partners in helping take care of those life-threatening concerns.
Exams are 100% free to survivors and are crucial to provide evidence of the incident should they choose to file charges or not.
There is no charge to a survivor who shows up at the emergency department reporting sexual violence or sexual assault. So therefore, you don't have to be worried about that bill coming forward and having to pay that.
Last year, we had over 50 hospital call-outs of just sexual assault, and that does not include any additional clients that sought our services that were not seen at the hospital.
Education is key to knowing how to keep yourself safe, no matter what gender. Perpetrators often use date rape, drugs, or alcohol to gain control. But no matter what you are wearing and what the circumstances are, lack of consent is key to most cases, which means setting boundaries.
So again, boundaries serve the function of protection and detection. It's not unreasonable if you tell someone no towards a certain thing, that is your boundary. If they cannot accept that, that does tell you a little something about that other person, their motives and their behavior. Please listen to your intuition.
The only person responsible for sexual assault and sexual violence is the person who perpetrated that crime. It is not the survivor or the victim's responsibility to hold on to that or be responsible for what happened to them.
It's important to remember that it's not your fault. You did nothing wrong as the survivor. It is solely the consequences of someone else.
And you don't have to report something like this right away. Sometimes it might take someone months or even years. It's up to that person, that victim, that survivor, to make that decision. And it's good for us to create this awareness and show that we support victims and survivors of any ethnicity, background, gender. It doesn't matter. We are here to support them and listen to them.
From Utah Tech, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.